Welcome to the first episode of Pop and Talk. Pop because I'm drinking a soda, and talk because that's the aim of the game. That's the name of my podcast. Working title, maybe. Let me know if you like it. I am in love with it. I just thought of it like 5 minutes ago. And yeah, so my name is Helene. My artist name that you'll see on Spotify when you go follow it and go listen to my music is Vividhelene, and I make R&B music, but I'm also starting this thing where I actually want to be perceived on the internet and actually want to be heard beyond the music. I want you guys to know who I am and to see how real it can get, you know? I pride myself on being very honest and very authentic, and it's just going to get real. It's just going to be very real, and I'm going to talk about my journey as an artist, real life stuff, just, things I like, things I love, movies, songs, maybe, food, traveling, all these different things. We'll get into a lot of things. You'll see a lot of the stuff that I actually like in the video, but for those who are just listening and not actually watching, I've got the star poster, which is the tarot for the astrology sign of Aquarius, which is what I am. I was born January 29. And then I've also got flowers dangling, or like, I guess, hung upside down from my best friend Gabriella, who gave them to me for my birthday. And next to it, I have a panther that was made by my dear friend, Michaela, who is also a tattoo artist. They made this panther, and it was like the first art piece that I ever got from them, so I hung it up. And then right next to it is another picture of Gabriella and me, and like in the same frame, but if it kind of fell down, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, is my other friend Karen and Anakin. And then below that is my H, and I got this at the TJ Maxx in my hometown, and it has Captain America, it has all the stuff from Marvel, I've got the Falcon even on there, Iron Man's old suit, Thor, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, all the like. That just is a big pinnacle, big describer of like who I am, what I love. Love Marvel, love superheroes. I had a superhero club in high school. We went and watched, I think, Endgame, all together as a club. Greatest experience. And then right next to it is actually two canvas art pieces that my friend Ryu made in his art box a really long time ago. And I actually lost touch with him from, I think, like the year like 2021. Yeah, I did end up losing touch with him. He lives in the Philippines. I met him through Instagram during COVID, and he was very nice. And I hope that one day we can connect. So Ryu, if you are ever on the internet and you're finding me again, I miss you. Hit me up. You know where I am. But yeah. And then above that actually is a jade bracelet that this man who lived in the facility that my grandfather stayed at, a long-term care facility, he actually gave me that jade bracelet because he used to always sit with his wheelchair beside him, and he always had like bananas and like Lay's chips and different kinds of snacks in his bag, and he would always give them to me every time I would walk toward the corridor where my grandpa stayed. And it was always like the same thing every day. And his name was Han Jiang, and he was a Chinese man, and he used to tell me about his life, and that was his last gift that he ever had given me before he passed away. So I keep that up there. And then in the middle, I wanted to have a projector in the front and like have it like right in front of my bed, but I haven't gotten one yet. So right now it's storing three things or four things. I have a sound bowl that my cousin gave me, which is very dear to my heart. I will literally hit that let it ring to calm myself down. And then also another book that my cousin gave me. It talks about physics, which is like my favorite kind of science. A journal that I got with my friend. Lots of good, interesting thoughts in there, song lyrics and the like. And and then another book that my cousin gave me, my cousin Sabrina. So lots of good things up there. Just to give you guys kind of a rundown of who I am as a person. I absolutely love that I have a space to myself where I can do this, and I'm very grateful for everybody who's taking the time to listen. I think that it's really important to put yourself out there, even when you think nobody is listening, because at least the reach will come toward one person, because that means everything. That means the world. So for everybody who's still listening, thank you. But like, let's get into different things. Let's get into, let me see, artistry, right? Being perceived on the internet. So I started making music in high school because of my electronic music composition class, and that gave me the tools to really start getting into what it means to be an artist, but also like outside of just singing, because I've always sang, especially when I was young. I was 4 years old. I remember singing Regine Velasquez's songs because my mom loves her, and we would watch her movies, and we would watch all the old Filipino movies, and all of the old Filipino classic songs are very near and dear to my heart. We would listen to those, and I would learn how to sing through listening to that. And I remember very early on my family telling me, oh my gosh, you're actually like really good at singing. And I remember that, and I've always held that inside of my heart. But as I grew older, I was actually super, super shy. I don't think I talked to anybody, or like my teacher even told me, my kindergarten teacher, she said that she didn't even know what my voice sounded like because I never really spoke. And so my personality came out when I was with my friends or my cousins or just my family. But when I was at school, it wasn't a big known thing that I knew how to sing, and especially because I went to a smaller school, so it was very community based. We were all very close to each other. Our classes were like 30 kids each, so it's like you are batched with these kids that really know you, and so like you grow up with them. They're basically become your family. So I was very close to the people that were in my class, but like that was like the one thing they never knew about me. So when I was in like 4th or 5th grade, I finally told like one person. I think it was my friend Amanda, and we were like in the corner of the school, and I was just like, oh, like I like to sing. And they were like, really? And so I kind of gave a little bit of like a snippet, and they were like, oh my gosh. And ever since then I was like, wow, like maybe I can go ahead and like be in the limelight a little bit. But I was still scared, I didn't know. That's why I kind of just like soft launched myself into singing, and soft launched myself into like performance, because I wasn't sure if I was going to receive that kind of reinforcement, that positive reinforcement from like other people. And then I don't know, for some reason when I was in 7th grade, I just decided that enough was enough. I wanted to sing in front of people, and I wanted everyone to know. And I can't really remember like what pushed me to choose that moment in time, but it was the moment that really defined things for me and really changed the trajectory of how I thought about what I wanted to do in my life, or like my future, the rest of my life. So it was in my 7th grade. It was just like a junior high math class, and we had an assignment to make a song and perform it, like a Christmas song. And you basically just had to take all the lyrics of a classic Christmas song and make them into like math lyrics. So I still was nervous though. I didn't want to do it by myself, so I had like one of my friends do it with me, and she probably remembers this. But I just remember like doing the lyrics, and it was Michael Bublé's song that starts with the snow's coming down, the snow's coming down, I'm watching it fall, like that one. And so I remember we made the lyrics, we made the song, and then she came up with me. And then there was like one moment where I was like, okay, this is it. Like, if they like it, then they like it, and then I can just kind of surprise them. I think I even liked the fact that I was surprising everybody because I hit the note, I did my thing. I think I even actually overshot it. Like, I was so nervous to be singing in front of everybody because I imagine like these kids like they've known you since you were 4 years old, and then you just like don't tell them this one really big thing about you that you've always wanted to like tell them, or like something you've always wanted to do and something you've kept inside, and then you're finally standing in front of them and you're just like, okay, well, you know what, if it's gonna go, we're just gonna go. So I overshot it. I didn't have enough breath in my system. Like, I just went for it. And for everybody who knows how I sing, it's I have a deeper voice than normal. Like, I stand like 5 feet on a good day, but my voice is like 7 feet tall. So it was a crazy way to like launch the way that I sing and just launch that I even can sing. So like imagine it's just that powerful. And we're in seventh grade, so I'm not even in the 5 feet mark. I'm probably like 4'7", to be honest. So I'm like small, and then it's just this like powerful voice that comes out. And then I coughed really hard in the middle. Like, it was actually like really embarrassing for me. I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like, because I couldn't like get a breath out, and then I just started coughing, and then I like hit my chest, and then I just kept going because you just gotta keep going, you just gotta keep going, and then I just like, and we ended the song, and my friend is like next to me, like she just kind of let me. I really appreciate her actually because she just let me do my thing, and she just let me she just let me like sing, and I think she knew that that was the moment for me, and I really do appreciate that because from then on, like, we were just always gonna be, it was always just gonna be like that was it, like Helena's the singer. And so after that moment happened, everybody just kind of like looked at me, and then I just was like ready to move on. Like, I didn't think anybody was gonna think I was good because I did cough in the middle, and then I overshot it, and I just didn't think I sounded good in the moment, and so I was gonna move on. And then none, of course, my teacher, who I absolutely love, he did not let me move on from that. And he was like, wait a minute. He was like, wait a minute. You can sing like that. You can sing like that. That's crazy. You can really sing like that. And everybody was like, wait, we known you your whole life almost, basically, and you can sing. And it was just that moment of like, I felt such freedom in knowing that, because there was such a fear that I had inside of myself, and I was so shy, and I just didn't want to do it. And I was like, just forget it. We're just gonna go for it. And when I went for it, it felt so good in that moment to be recognized for something that you're really proud of, that like you know that you are good at inside, and to have somebody give you that feedback, especially people who know you, like, these are kids that I absolutely just loved and adored as a child. They're my classmates. They were like my family, and I spent like literally like every day with them pretty much. And so all these people supporting me and knowing who I, like, this really big part of who I was. And like after that I just opened up, because I was so shy before, and then singing really gave me my wings. Like, it was just like this thing of like, oh, this is who I am. This is what I like. This is the part of me that I am very, very proud of. Because it was different. Like, the people that I grew up with knew me for being very intellectual, very academic. Like, if they heard, oh, like, she's very smart because she has good grades, and that was just mostly what I was known for. I did very well in school. I did the spelling bee. I did the good science classes and the math classes, and I tried my best to really put that out there, that I was being a good student, and because that was also the expectation at home, to be a good student and to do your homework and to study for your tests and stuff, and like to perform and to excel in that area. And so everybody knew me as somebody who was that. And then I come out with this sudden, singing thing, and everybody was like, whoa, different ball game. And so I really liked that because I felt like I was actually being seen for who I wanted to be seen as. And so I was in seventh grade when that first happened. And mind you, before that, people were still trying to get me to sing like in front of people. And I remember, like, I don't know if you guys remember, like, that one stint in time when Rolling in the Deep came out, and all of the 8-year-old kids who know how to sing or who did anything in terms of like performance or wanted to be famous, you just saw 8-year-old girl singing Rolling in the Deep, and or 10-year-old girl singing Rolling in the Deep. That was like a trend on YouTube. And so my aunt and my brothers and my cousin, like, they all were like, "Hey, you should do this, you should do this." And they sat me in front of a computer when I was 8 and like had me film that video. And it's still up. You can look it up on YouTube. I'll even link it to below so you guys can watch it. But it's just kind of this thing of like, I've always had this reinforcement to be on a stage or to be in front of people doing this thing, and to do this thing that I'm proud of, and to do this thing that is just naturally inside of me, that just needs to be refined and just needs to be honed in, you know. And so now, you know, I sit here, and I'm actually feeling that presence again, to feel proud of like that talent, because for a while I very much lost it. Because when I came out of seventh grade and I began singing, and I actually participated in choir, and I was being recognized for that thing, I went into high school with that mindset, of this is what I want to do in life. And so I did choir, and I did the national anthems at the basketball games and the different games that we had for like sports. And I let everybody know that I like to sing, and everybody knew that about me. And I did the Psalms in Mass, because I went to a Catholic high school, and I was always trying to put myself out there. And I remember thinking, like, I was still that student, you know, I was still that good student that did the right thing, and I had the grades, and I had the work ethic for school itself. But like, the thing that I was always really, 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 really honored to be was, oh, Helena is a good singer. Like, that was the thing that I felt honored to be. And like, that was the identity that I really attached myself to, that I was a good singer, that I was a good performer. And so I also did drama. I was Kelsey in High School Musical for my sophomore year. And then we did Sister Act, which is funny because I was not ethically supposed to be the main lead of that, because obviously I'm not Whoopi Goldberg in all the ways that I'm not Whoopi Goldberg. Like, I'm not that. And or Pamela Miller. I think that's her name from the I gotta look. I don't want to mess up her name. From the live Sister Act. And so we redacted all of the Patina Miller. I'm so sorry. It's Patina Miller. I was close, but Patina Miller, gorgeous voice. Yeah, we redacted all of the stuff and then made it very high school friendly, very PG, like, did all of that. And I was the main lead for that. And that was a really fun show, and I made a lot of really good connections that I still have to this day. And I did choir with like a national, what was it called? It's in the National Honors Performance Series. I auditioned for that and went to New York and sang for Carnegie Hall, in Carnegie Hall, I mean. And I had these amazing singers, just absolute, just like beautiful voices, such wonderful people. Like, some of them, like, I still talk to. I've gained so many connections from that one experience, and it really also honed in my want to be on stages and stuff like that, and to like be at the center of that experience of being an artist. And just like having that under my belt was just really awesome, because I didn't think I was going to get it. You know, it's an international competition. You know, people from Doha, Qatar are going to this competition, so it was really awesome. it didn't really feel like a competition. It was just kind of like if you just like entered into it, right? So but it felt like a competition when I first started because I didn't know what to expect, and so I just auditioned, and I didn't have any technical training for singing, like no vocal training, or I didn't know how to read notes. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff, and so I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know how I was gonna be able to even afford going, but I was able to go, and I'm still thankful for every single person who literally helped me get there. That was awesome, and I'll never forget that experience, and I'll never forget the people that I met there. Like whenever we meet again, like I know it's gonna be awesome sauce, man. Because come on, we were all together in New York experiencing something that was so beautiful, and so yeah, these are all these experiences that were building up for me, and so when I got to college, I thought that this was gonna be the moment for me where I was like, okay, and I should say college age because I didn't go to college right away. I took a gap year because I knew that I didn't want to go to college, and I knew that I didn't want to pursue any type of technical career that involved being the stereotype of, well, I don't want to say stereotype, being the expectation of what success looks like for people who are anchored by tradition. So I'm thinking nurses, doctors, lawyers, even, the teacher, all respectable professions. I am in awe of everybody who has the guts to be all those things. But I just knew it wasn't me. And I tried to be a person who was, because I was always fighting with my mom about who I wanted to be. And so when I took that gap year, I told her that I was just taking a gap year because like I just needed that time and I was like saving money. But the truth was that I was posting on Instagram every day and I was like showing my life and showing my journey and singing on the app and like trying to find people to like come to my page and to like listen to me and invest in me as an artist and to see me. And so that whole year I took like all that time to really get into that vision, and there were so many people that I met that were awesome, and I will never ever forget that. And I still talk to them to this day. They're all amazing people. And I did that, and then I was hitting a wall because I wasn't getting anywhere for like a good 6 months of that 2021 period. I just was not getting anywhere, and I wasn't reaching the numbers that I thought I could get, and I was disappointing myself, and I didn't feel like I was progressing, and that really hit hard for me because it was kind of like I was proving my mom right when she told me that being a musician or being a performer, a singer wasn't a worthwhile career. So she was really just pushing me to just not do that inside of me. Like I was feeling her pressure like on me, and it was really hard to get over that hurdle because I just didn't want to fight with her, and I didn't want to subject myself to so much pain because I lived with her too, so it was really hard for me to have to go through that. And so I bit the bullet when I felt like I wasn't really like attaining the fame and the recognition that I felt I deserved. So I stepped away from it because I was like, you know what, maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe I shouldn't do it. And like I let myself be in that position, and I was just like, I'm going to step away from it. So I took like a regular conventional job and I applied for university, and I took the classes and stuff to become a nurse because I was thinking to myself, like, you know what, like if it's just not working out for me, I took this whole year and I'm not where I want to be. So I'm gonna go with the safe option, the option that I know that I can succeed at. Because remember, I was a really good student, and I was really good at studying, and I was really good at testing, and I was like, you know what, like this is gonna be a piece of cake for me. I don't even have to worry about it. Like I'm just gonna do it. And so I did that, and I will never forget my first week at this at these classes for public health. I remember going, "Oh my god, I hate this. I literally hate this." And I was just like, "Whatever. Like it's just school. Like you've already done it. You've already done it. Like you can get through it." And so I would just go to class, like just understand the material, do the homework, whatever. It was just like being a robot again with school. Like the only classes that I absolutely loved were my piano classes, my electronic music composition class, like all those different things. And so I just was like, okay, like we're just gonna become a nurse, and then we can be a singer later. That was just really my mindset. And so it was always the back burner, you know. And reminder, like I went and did the Carnegie Hall thing, and I did the musical thing, and then even the electronic music composition thing, I did that, and I put the songs out on Spotify. And imagine, I'm like a junior in high school. I'm making these songs at like 17. I made an album called Lateral Inhibition. First, you know, like that was like the first run, and then I was like, okay, like let me make an entire album that had all the songs on it, and it's called A116, The Study of Nature, and it was inspired by physics, and I did the whole thing, and I thought that was gonna blow up before this. Like I thought that that was going to be my ticket home. But still, even in college, I was telling people like, oh, like I have music, I have music. So imagine, like, it's always on the back burner for me, but I'm doing these classes and being a robot and like doing all the things that I've always done, which is be a good student and like lean into the academics. And I was really just not feeling that anymore, because I was always leaning back into music every time, every chance that I get. It was just like this thing of like I could never forget it. I could never not talk about it. I could never just let it go. And it was always the thing that I lit up about when I would talk about it. And so I was like, but I didn't know where to go from there, because I was restarting, and it was so scary to restart, because you feel like you don't deserve to get something because you didn't do it in time, or you didn't do it fast enough. And so, like, you know, I was comparing myself to other artists and everything, and trying my best to get my stuff out there, but it wasn't happening. And then still I'm like pushing and stuff. And so I just came to this point where I was in college, and then I had told the right people that I could sing. And so somehow in the middle of that, I was given opportunities to perform at different bars in my hometown, because of like really great people that just heard me once in this park thing that I performed at for an event, for the job that I had. And they were like, hey, like I'm a promoter here, and like we hold all these different events, like we'd love if you sang your songs. And so that was an opportunity that like randomly just came up to me. And remember, like I'm in college, like I'm trying to be a nurse, and I'm trying to live the conventional traditional life, and like do the thing that makes my mom happy, and do the thing that will make people proud, and like make me look like I'm not unsuccessful. And so I was like, okay, like I'm gonna go for it. And so then again, like singing came back into my life, music came back into my life, and so that spark was reignited in me. And I met really another set of great people. It's just like people were always coming in, you know, telling me that this was the path for me, and that was really helpful in becoming more confident, like courageous, I guess, about it. And so then I started performing, and I met more people in college. I met more friends, and I don't regret my experience in college, because I did meet a lot of my best friends, a lot of the people that I still talk to today, people I'm close to. But yeah, like they would come to my shows, and then I would perform for them, and all the songs that I had on my Spotify that I made, like in between, like those are the ones that I would perform. And they loved the song Mangoes. If you've heard it, you already know that's my party song, that's my club song, that's my shake ass song. Like everybody loves Mangoes, and if you haven't listened to it, go ahead. Link in bio. All right. But yeah, I just started performing, and that was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. But I was still a little bit worried because, you know, I was in college paying for classes I didn't really like. And thankfully, I did like one class so much that I changed my major entirely before the fall semester ended. And it was philosophy because I loved all the professors. I love that department. I love everybody that was in there. And I love the people that I met. Helped me become a well-rounded human being, and helped me really look at life in a different lens. And so like that, having that made college feel a little bit more worth it to me. Like I was learning something that I actually liked to learn, and so that catapulted me further. I'm like getting like I'm getting so lost in the sauce because it's like I'm reliving all these moments in time, and I'm like remembering all these different things. But yeah, I kept going for philosophy because I love philosophy. And then stuff happened in life, and I ended up pivoting to move to where I live now, which is Oregon. And that felt like the right move for me. It was a whim. I've been to Oregon before, but I thought that it would be a good change of pace from where I used to live, which is Nevada. I'm from Reno, and it was just kind of this thing of like, it's green. I've been there before. I really liked it. New scenery, new people, new experience, and I felt like I really needed to move away. Like my time in Reno was spent, and I just had to fly again. And so I ended up here, and then now I'm meeting all new sets of different people here, and new people who are supporting my art and listening to my songs and seeing me for who I am. But yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. Because now that I'm thinking about it, like, that's a really long time. It feels long. It feels short. I'm going on what, 22? It feels like it's been very long. I feel like my mentality right now is like I'm at 37, or 38 years old. Like I feel like that's where I'm at. But I'm 22. I'm so young, you know. Just there's so much life ahead, right? And I'm in this spot where I'm like, okay, let me just take my time. I'm not gonna pressure myself. I'm not gonna put myself in the same position where I'm gonna stop and not keep going because I'm not seeing the reality that I want to see. And it's looking past the 3D and looking past what is in front of you and just like seeing your vision and seeing who you want to be right in front of you instead of seeing what they want you to see, you know? And so this is me. I'm Helene. I love talking. Today wasn't really that funny of an episode. I promise it'll get better. It'll get funnier when I have like my friends as guests, and or even just like when I have like a plan to just like talk and stuff. Like I'm just introducing myself as a person, and I say this because I feel like I've always stepped back and not talked about the work that I put in, especially when it comes to the thing that I actually love to do and I'm aspiring to do, and to have this platform to do it and to just say it. I am very grateful, very lucky, very just honored to even be in your ears right now if you're still listening. And I'm going to continue making these pop and talks, which by the way, I didn't even like sip this. I got so excited to talk. I didn't even get into it, which it's delicious, by the way. Please, like, I want everybody to know that the peaches and cream soda is top tier. root beer, vintage cola, I very much enjoy from the Olipop line. I'm talking about it like it's a clothing line, like it's Dior. Yeah, I really like these. I do actually prefer these more than the poppies, and the reason why is because their flavors are really funny and they match like the sodas that I like, and I don't know, there's just something different about them and I really like them. But anyways, yeah, I got so excited I didn't even take a sip of this. I just kept rambling and talking, which I'm sure is going to be like how most of these episodes go. But yeah, this is me. This is Helene. This is Vividhelene. Next time, Pop and Talk is going to be about something else. Or if you guys want to hear more about me, like, that's cool too. But yeah, I love it. Thank you for listening. And I'll catch you guys later. That was me blowing a kiss or giving a kiss. I hope it didn't sound weird in your ears. Okay. See you. Bye.